Sean Strickland will start fighting YouTubers if he does not get an immediate title rematch. Sean took to Twitter this past week indicating that he wants the UFC to book his rematch against du Plessis. Sean feels that he was put at a disadvantage fighting in Canada, in which du Plessis walked away with a split decision win, but walked away with this much damage. Strickland has threatened to leave MMA and go to boxing if he does not get this title rematch. Meanwhile, du Plessis already has his eyes on another opponent. I also wouldn't want to fight the King of Africa. Manifestations working good for you again. Is he referencing Israel Adesanya? Remember back to UFC 290, the drama in the octagon after du Plessis beat Robert Whittaker.
Don't do yeah, my African brother. Yeah, my African brother. What's up?
I'm African, but I ain't no brother of yours, son.
You my let's go. You my real. I'll show you.
So what are you saying to everybody in New Zealand? What are you saying?
The rivalry between the two African men is so intense, and a future press conference between these two would be amazing. So I definitely want to see a fight between Adesanya and du Plessis. I could see Sean Strickland getting involved with boxing influencers after his run-in with so many celebrities over the past few months, including this one with Machine Gun Kelly.
Fast forward, I go and I meet the vampire, and I make him. I'm just like, dude, what are you wearing? Like, what the is going on here? Like, how are you doing this? And he looked at me and like, he didn't laugh, he didn't giggle, but he looked at me like, why is this guy, like, with no respect talking to me like this?
I feel he brings so much entertainment to the UFC. Just remember back to the UFC 2024 seasonal press conference.
Trying to let dude his wife. Chito's a stand-up mother. He's a hard man.
Let's make America
great again. Chito, let's
go.
It's about his shoe size. Ilya wears a 6.5 shoe.
And now we got the clown over here.
His shock win over Israel Adesanya at UFC 293 was unforgettable, and perhaps he could have another moment like this in the future.
Middleweight champion of the world, Sean Khamzat
Khamzat Chimaev is headlining the UFC's first ever Saudi Arabia event, fighting Robert Whittaker on June 22nd. UFC President Dana White stated that the winner of this fight will be the #1 contender for the UFC Middleweight Championship.
The main event will be former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker versus 13-0 undefeated Khamzat Chimaev to see who will be the #1 contender for the UFC Middleweight Championship.
UFC fans and commentators all around the world have been so excited since this news broke. However, UFC Hall of Famer and former middleweight champion Michael Bisping believes that this fight could be disastrous for Khamzat Chimaev due to cardio issues.
If you're tired, the skills go out the window. You're exhausted. You don't want to be there. And this is the first time that Khamzat Chimaev has ever been scheduled to do 5 rounds in the UFC.
Joe Rogan also believes that this fight will be a real test for the undefeated 13-0 Khamzat Chimaev.
This one, Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev in Saudi Arabia. That one is gonna be wild.
Robert Whittaker is coming off a win against Paulo Costa. What are your predictions for this fight?
I came for my goal.
So we'll also be seeing Shara Magomedov step back into the octagon at UFC Saudi Arabia.
Defeated 12-0 Shara Bullet versus Ior Potiera, who has 15 of his 20 wins coming by first round finish. This card is going to be badass from top to bottom.
Shara made his debut at UFC 294 against Bruno Silva. Despite being the first fight on the early prelims, Shara put on a show for the fans with a variety of signature kicks. I do think Shara has the potential to become a big star in the UFC. He's got an interesting pirate persona and a great backstory to his MMA career and his childhood growing up in Dagestan, home to UFC champions. Saw this crazy video recently with Shara speaking on how he sharpens his elbows. I've never seen anything like it.
Вот так, друзья, хотел вам показать секрет моих локтей насыщенных.
What are your predictions for Shara fight against Ior Potiera? Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below ideas for future videos.